Oh my God.
How much? How much?
$50.
How much? You gotta pay, say it. How much?
Yeah.
115, 115 bucks. 125. 155 there. 155. 165 here. 17. Yeah. Really? Really? Oh, stop it! You get so freaky out, man.
Dan, it's all cool. He just wants to be like me. I think it's cute.
In the world of reality television, where fame is fleeting and the spotlight is blinding, there lies a shadow cast by time. These faces, once so familiar, now seem to belong to another era, another version of reality. With each passing season, some stars fade into obscurity. Not because they chose to leave, but because fate had different plans. This documentary pays tribute to 10 beloved Storage Wars personalities whose lives were tragically cut short or altered forever. Their journeys, once filled with laughter, drama, and treasure hunts, took turns none could have foreseen. We begin with number 10, Gunter Nazoda. Gunter Nazoda may not have been one of the original Storage Wars stars, but his presence on the show left a lasting mark. A warm, approachable figure, Gunter was the embodiment of kindness on screen. Known for his good-natured humor, he quickly became a fan favorite, especially after joining the show in its 8th season alongside his son, Rene. But behind that infectious smile, Gunter was battling a deadly opponent: lung cancer. Diagnosed 6 months prior, he had a history of smoking, which had long since left irreversible damage. In an emotional tribute, his son Rene shared the news of his father's passing, confirming the painful reality.
My dad, 6 months ago, was diagnosed with lung cancer. He's been smoking for 30 years. Not the last time, but he's been smoking for a long time. And last night, he passed away in his sleep peacefully from complications from lung cancer.
It wasn't supposed to end like this. For months, the family held onto hope, believing Gunter would pull through. But as his condition worsened, there was nothing left to do. He passed quietly in his sleep while in the hospital, surrounded by loved ones. The pain of his loss was felt by many, especially those who followed his journey on Storage Wars. Gunter's impact, however brief, left an indelible mark on fans who admired not just the treasure hunter, but the man behind the camera. And so we are left to ponder, how many lives quietly slip away, leaving only memories in their wake? 9. Brandon Sheets. Brandon Sheets, the son of the infamous Daryl Sheets, was always a sidekick, always ready with a quip, always there by his father's side. Together, they were the heart of Storage Wars, a team that played off each other's strengths and quirks. But in 2017, Brandon's reality was shattered. Despite his popularity, the producers let him go, citing budget cuts. His father remained, but Brandon, now faced with uncertainty, needed to find a new path. As he drifted through different jobs, real estate, truck driving, fate had one more cruel twist in store for him. On a routine delivery for UPS, Brandon fell asleep in the back of a semi-truck. His co-driver, unfamiliar with the route, lost control, crashing into another vehicle at 70 miles per hour. When Brandon awoke, chaos surrounded him. The crash left him shaken, with injuries that would take time to heal. But the true scar wasn't physical, it was emotional. The feeling of being abandoned by the very company he trusted, and the overwhelming realization that life could change in an instant. Brandon's story of survival was a stark reminder of how quickly life can shift, how everything can be torn apart in a heartbeat. As we reflect on Brandon's near-death experience, we are left with a haunting thought. How many lives hang by the thinnest of threads, and how often do we take that thread for granted? 8. Dave Hester. Known for his loud "yoop" and his cutthroat attitude, Dave Hester was the undeniable villain of Storage Wars. His brash personality was as much a part of the show as the treasure-filled lockers he bid on. Yet, the man behind the catchphrase harbored a darker side, one that would later reveal a terrifying vulnerability. In 2012, Dave stirred controversy when he accused Storage Wars of fabricating locker contents for dramatic effect. His legal battle against A&E led to his removal from the show, but his return was inevitable. However, life had other plans. After coming back to Storage Wars, Dave suffered a catastrophic hemorrhagic stroke, bleeding in his brain, a result of untreated high blood pressure and sleep apnea. One moment he was bidding on lockers, the next he was fighting for his life in a hospital bed, unable to speak or move. Miraculously, he survived, though the incident left him permanently altered. The stroke not only changed his body, but it also left him and his fans with an unsettling question. What had been lurking beneath the surface all along? In the years that followed, many began to wonder if there was a curse on the Storage Wars cast. One by one, their lives seemed to spiral into tragedy and near death. Was it coincidence or something more sinister at play? 7. Mark Balow. Mark Balow, the suave, flashy auctioneer from Storage Wars, was known for his larger-than-life personality. His reputation as a gambler with an eye for high-stakes deals made him a fan favorite. But behind the polished exterior, Mark was struggling with demons of his own. In 2019, the world was stunned when Mark was found lifeless in his car, a victim of carbon monoxide poisoning. The details were tragic and difficult to process. He was just 40 years old. Days before his death, Mark had faced serious legal trouble, arrested for methamphetamine possession and under the influence. Though he avoided jail time, the emotional toll was evident. It was a weight he carried into his final moments. Despite his outward bravado, Mark's personal struggles, a toxic combination of addiction, legal battles, and isolation, seemed too much for him to bear. And so we are left wondering, how many people wear a mask so convincing that even those closest to them can't see the anguish beneath? 6. Mo Prigo. Mo Prigo was a man of many passions. A podiatrist, an art collector, a businessman, and of course a unique personality on Storage Wars Texas. He had an eye for the rare and unusual, and his lively spirit seemed unshakable. But like many, Mo's battle was fought away from the cameras, in the silence of his own home, with his own body. Mo had been struggling with an illness for years. A man who once thrived on energy, who had the capacity to juggle multiple careers and passions, was slowly losing the fight to his health. Yet, even as his body grew weaker, Mo continued to work, to create, to inspire. His love for his wife, Michelle, was unwavering, even as he fought a losing battle with his illness. In March of 2021, Mo passed away, his body finally succumbing to the years of struggle. His death, though anticipated, left a deep hole in the world he had so carefully crafted. We are reminded that no matter how vibrant someone appears on the outside, life's true battles often rage in silence in places where no one can see. 5. Dan Dodson. Before Storage Wars, Dan Dodson was already a seasoned auctioneer. His company, American Auctioneers, had built a strong reputation. Alongside his wife Laura, Dan became a household name, known for his charisma and energy. But in 2014, that energy was nearly extinguished in an instant. One day, Dan suddenly fell ill. What seemed like a simple headache turned into a nightmare. He began slurring his words, his body collapsing, his skin turning an unnatural color. Laura, terrified, called for help, and Dan was rushed to the hospital. The doctors soon discovered that Dan was suffering from 2 brain aneurysms. In that moment, it seemed as though the world might lose him. Yet, against all odds, Dan survived. The aneurysms, though devastating, had left enough of his brain intact for the doctors to treat him. In the aftermath, Dan made a life-changing decision. He quit smoking. A moment that made him reflect deeply on how fragile life truly is. Dan's story is a stark reminder that life, even in its darkest moments, can lead to profound change. But it also raises a lingering question. How often do we wait until the brink of death to truly value what we have? 4. Dan and Laura Dodson. Just when Dan and Laura Dodson thought they had weathered the worst, fate threw another cruel twist their way. In 2020, their son, Garrett, faced a horrifying ordeal. While visiting his girlfriend in Arizona, Garrett was shot, his life hanging by a thread. Despite the severity of his injuries, Garrett miraculously called 911, his voice barely audible as he fought to stay conscious. The bullet had struck a major vein, and as Garrett's life force drained away, doctors rushed him to Las Vegas for emergency surgery. What followed was a miraculous recovery, thanks to the collective efforts of a dedicated medical team. Against all odds, Garrett survived, his life spared by sheer will and skill. But the Dodsons had learned an important lesson. Nothing in life is guaranteed, and even the darkest moments can reveal the strength we never knew we had. Their story reminds us of the fragility of life and the strength found in the face of unimaginable adversity. 3. Jared Schultz and Brandy Passante. Jared and Brandy were the couple that viewers couldn't get enough of. Their chemistry was undeniable, their bond seemingly unbreakable. But behind the scenes, the pressure of fame and personal struggles slowly chipped away at their relationship. By 2021, they had separated, though they continued to work together on Storage Wars. The The cracks in their relationship became public when Jared was involved in a domestic violence incident. The shocking news sent ripples through the fan base as accusations and headlines swirled. Brandy, however, took a quiet stand, sharing a powerful message on Instagram about surviving a painful chapter and finding peace. Her words, while veiled, spoke volumes. 2. Brandy Passante. Brandy Passante became a household name, but fame came with a darker side. As she gained recognition, the attention turned disturbing. Letters, packages, and stalkers, the once innocent fan interactions turned into something dangerous. At one point, Brandy had to move into a gated community, her family's safety compromised by fans who couldn't differentiate between admiration and obsession. In interviews, she spoke openly about how the pressure and fear affected her, but with time, she began to heal, slowly reclaiming her sense of self. Her story raises a haunting question. What happens when the life we've built for ourselves turns into something unrecognizable? 1. Barry Weiss. Barry Weiss was the eccentric figure who broke the mold on Storage Wars. His love for the unusual and bizarre made him a beloved character. But in 2019, a motorcycle crash nearly took his life. The accident was devastating. Barry and his friend collided with a car, leaving him with severe injuries. Rumors quickly spread about his fate, and fans feared the worst. Barry's story is a reminder of how fleeting fame can be and how fragile life truly is. And in the silence that followed his absence from the show, we are left wondering, can we ever truly prepare for the loss of someone who once felt like a constant? In the end, these stories, though different in circumstance, share one undeniable truth. Reality television is often a polished facade, hiding the raw, painful truths of those who step in front of the camera. Whether through illness, accidents, or personal struggles, the cast of Storage Wars faced trials that few could endure. Their lives, intertwined with the world of reality TV, now stand as poignant reminders of the fragility of fame and life itself. As we reflect on their journeys, we ask, whose story left the deepest mark on you? And can we truly understand the battles faced by those we watch on television?